Okay, who here hasn't been to space? Why? You better not throw up on my ship.
Approaching jump in 3, 2, 1.
What's up, what's going on, fellow fanatics, and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we discuss all things movie, TV, streaming, hot topics, and more. And one of the hot topics hot on the plate right now is Blumhouse is going to be trying to do a Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Blumhouse has done many, I mean, if you guys know Blumhouse films, you know they've done plenty of fantastic films. And the thing about Blumhouse is they are able to take films that they'll put $8 million into and gain like $100 million off of it. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe it was Invisible Man that they made for $8 million and they got $100 million back in return. Blumhouse does amazing films. I mean, The Purge, Split, Get Out. What are some of the other ones that they've done? They've done Halloween. Well, they brought Halloween back. Insidious, Sinister, some of those other horror films and things. They did Paranormal Activity. I remember seeing the original Paranormal Activity when I was in high school. That shit scared the fuck out of me. Yeah. The first one scared the fuck out of me. I ran at the theater on the first one. At Hollywood Theater.
Me and a bunch of names I'll drop later because I'm not going to drop people's names to the internet, but you know all of them stayed at one person's house afterwards and there was no sleeping going on. No, it was pure panic. I
can imagine. But having Blumhouse bring back Nightmare on Elm Street is a thing that's it's a question, because I love the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I love it with Johnny Depp, you know, especially the scene where he gets spit out of the couch. I think Nightmare on Elm Street is a great film. It was great films, but can you bring that magic back? That's the thing. Can Blumhouse? If anybody could do it, Blumhouse could do it. But can they bring that back?
Well, the last remake they did of the Nightmare on Elm Street was bad.
Terrible.
It was very bad.
Absolutely.
But so here's the thing for me. You know, you go over the titles of things that Blumhouse has done, and the big ones that stick out of my mind are things like Sinister, right? Are things that Insidious, right? Insidious is great. They're things that were brand new ideas, right? I mean, Sinister was like my peak horror movie for the past decade. I mean, really? Sinister was so good because mainly it was the soundtrack more than anything. But I mean, they nailed so many different aspects.
1 and 2. You like 2? I liked 2.
Running over the kids in the cornfield.
I thought 2 was the ending was
I feel like what made Sinister good was not knowing, and once you know that it's the kids, it goes downhill a little bit, right? But why I'm bringing this up is because while Freddy Krueger is still a household he's a king of terror, right? He is. Indeed. I look back at the remake of the last 2 movies they've done of Halloween, right? And I did not like them. I didn't like the last one. Now, if you want to talk about Halloween remakes that I loved Rob Zombie's remakes, because I feel like he was trying to do something. He was trying to tell a certain story. It was a film that he chose to undertake, right? Where I don't know if this would be about bringing back Freddy and money, because I am getting tired of the old remakes. I am. Right. You do new things, because your new things that Blumhouse does go well. And I can't say, I mean, Freddy's timeless. I can't say that they would, because like you said, if anyone's going to be able to do it, it's Blumhouse. Right. But I'm almost like, leave it alone.
Right.
Leave it alone and give me a new idea.
Though, but with the things that they did, but you said you didn't like any of the Blumhouse remakes of Halloween?
No, the newest ones where time has gone by? Yeah, fuck no.
I didn't like the last, the newest one. I thought the newest one was shit. But then I guess Blumhouse did not do this. But what do you think? I mean, if they can bring Scream back and Scream be as successful as it was with Scream 5, and they're already doing Scream 6, and this time the motherfucker's gonna be in New York. So what do you think about? I mean, what do you think about?
I mean, it goes back to me on I think, you know, these are kings of terror. Do I think that this movie's gonna be profitable? Yeah, sure, regardless. I mean, it's a Freddy movie. He sells out of theater, right? You ask my son right now who Freddy is. He knows who he is. Right. Like, everyone knows who Freddy is. But, like, it just more goes to I feel like I'd be going for nostalgia versus, the first time I saw Sinister, the opening sequence where they all get hung in the tree, I was like, from the get-go, I was on the edge of my seat. Like, this is brilliant horror.
So is Sinister like your horror movie that like kept you up?
No, it was my horror movie. The whole time I watched it, I thought I was watching the peak of what a horror movie could be. It was so well done as far as like you did not know what was going on. You had no idea. From the jump, it was so eerie. And I will admit, actually, yes, the scene where the camera's going around the car and that... Yeah, that shit kept me up, dude. I was like, no way.
Sinister is, it's up there for me. I like Sinister a lot. But Blumhouse is convinced that that they can get Robert Englund back, and Jason Blum, obviously... over Blumhouse, has said that he is confident that he can get Robert Englund back as Freddy. I mean, we just saw Robert Englund in Stranger Things, so I mean, you could see him again coming. I think he could definitely do it from what we just saw in Stranger Things. But before we get into him coming back, Q, if you wouldn't mind reading what Movie News had to say about Jason Blum's comments on getting Robert Englund back.
Yeah. While discussing Blumhouse's new movie, The Black Phone with Screen Rant, Blum was asked about how he has made clear he wants the rights to the two 80s horror franchises and responded, "I really do. On the back of this, the question of Robert Englund possibly being out of the picture to reprise the role that fans only want to see him play was asked. Blum responded, I can make him come back one day. I can get anyone back. I mean, Ellen Burstyn was 87 and I got her back in The Exorcist. Yeah, 75, he's young."
And that's great confidence that Jason Blum has there. I'm not, like I said, if anybody can do it, bro, it's gonna be Blumhouse. Blumhouse is gonna be the ones that do it. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't too much have any interest in a Nightmare on Elm Street remake, unless the story is compelling enough.
Well, but you
to
did,
get my ass in the
You said the point though. You said Stranger Things, right? And this was my whole point. Is so Vecna's a Freddy allegory, right? It's alluding to Freddy.
Right.
And yeah, when she's trying to get out of the house, throws open the door, and the door is, wooded shut. She can't open it, and Vecna comes in, does the kill. You see it snap, and die. Yeah, it was insane to see it, but my mind wouldn't jump to, that means we have to do another Freddy. That's not what that means to me. What that means to me is, you can take inspiration from these people. Because that's the thing. I didn't think, Freddy or Vecna's just a rip-off Freddy. I was like, yo, he's like Freddy. Right. That was the difference in my reaction. So you can take inspiration all you want from these old kings of horror. But that doesn't mean just because Vecna did well that we want to see a whole new Freddy movie.
Right. And like I said, I would have to have some type of overall... the story would have to be wildly, imaginatively, cleverly invented. Like, it would have to be... Because, I mean, what story are you going to tell? We've seen him go in dreams. What story are you going to tell? I mean, it could be like a collective neighborhood dream or something that he's in, and like it's everyone having the same dream. But
I also feel like the last remake of Freddy they made, right? When they're going through trying to uncover his past, the whole time I was like, we know his past. Right. We know every detail about this man's past, and it's like, oh my god, he was burned in a fire. No fucking duh. And then, oh my god, he was kidnapping children.
It was awful.
No way.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't want, if you make another movie, we know his story. You don't need to tell me his story. There needs to be a reason Freddy is there at this point, because I'm not interested in watching people learn a thing I've known about since before I was born.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, they really gotta nail it with Freddy. I mean, Q, are you even interested in a Freddy Krueger remake?
I'm kind of agreeing with you on what you said. I probably won't go see it in theaters when it comes out, but I mean, if I hear everything, if I watch the trailer, it looks good, hear the plot sounds interesting and everything, I mean, I'm not against it, simply because, like you said in the beginning of the video, I mean, they put low budget into their films and they come out and they make money. So I mean, that's the
man was great.
Whether it's just fans wanting to see old name movies or they're actually interested to see the story continued, I mean, whatever process they got over there is working. Yeah. Because obviously, I mean, they make enough money to keep putting money back into the films. Everyone makes good money, so. And
it's not as if
it's not like I'm against it.
Can't be remade, I mean, the interest. That's the thing that you're trying to garnish here, is the interest of the viewer. But I mean, I look at it, the remake of it. I thought it was great. I thought the remake of it was. Bro, I thought they did a really good job from the casting, the kids. I mean, I forget the dude's name that plays Pennywise, but he was fantastic.
Yep.
So it's not as if, I mean, again, as long as you've never seen those are great.
I mean, now let's
the thing
not.
that had me feared when I was a kid was
I hate clowns. I'm terrified. Don't get me wrong.
I never watched the original. I never watched.
I will say the first of these two newest It movies was really good. I fell asleep during the second one.
Oh yeah,
that second one was. Really
I didn't really care for the second one at all, but that first one.
No,
with the kids,
that one was.
Yeah,
I heard
the
it was
first
good
one
and
with the
everything.
kids
I watched
was great.
scenes and everything.
Well, there's part one.
There's
part 1 and part 2 of the new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Part 1.
Yeah,
the newest one I heard wasn't like you said wasn't nothing. But I watched scenes and shit where it's like I'd watch short little clips and I'd 18, 19 years old. I'm like, I don't want to watch this.
No, I'm telling you,
I don't want to watch this whole fucking
clowns
movie.
terrify the shit out of me.
Whenever we'd have that little thing, whenever they're like clowns are like coming back or whatever, and that shit petrified me. I'm not going to lie to you.
When I was in elementary, I used to walk home from school at Adams. When we were both at Adams, I used to walk home from school, and there were these teenagers that were dressed as clowns, and they had a lawnmower, and they chased me with that lawnmower. And when I tell you to this day, I have a frightening fear of clowns. I'm terrified. Now, I loved it, but I am terrified. Like, I don't do clowns at circus clowns.
No, dead
I don't care how happy you are. I don't do clowns. So, but I want to end it with this last question here, because this made me think of this when you kind of said this during the while we were talking about it. What is your horror film that is like, oh shit, that's my go-to scary, piss my pants, keeps me up at night horror film?
So this is a tough one because my wife and we like cheesy C-rank horror movies. We've seen up and down all around the movie theaters. So I don't. That's a tough one.
Mine comes from like sentimental experience, but I would definitely have to say like real life. I had real life fear after I watched Jeepers Creepers. Swear from the song, and then I drove home, or my mom drove me home that night. We were driving through a field. I was so scared that nigga was gonna land on top of the car. Like, I had real fear after watching that movie.
No, I got it. The movie that I don't know when I was younger, and I don't know why. You have that. It got me.
Yeah.
The Grudge 3, specifically The Grudge 3. This is the one where she comes through the big overhead mirror on the bed and pulls... But there's one scene where she's sitting down talking to her counselor, and her counselor starts saying some weird shit, right? And it shows the counselor, then it cuts back to her, and one of her dead friends is sitting beside her, going like... And then it cuts back to her, and the other one's looking. Yeah. And then she looks down under the desk, and the Grudge Girl's like cracking her leg. I was like, no, we're not doing this. And she just runs out of the room. I was like, that is the scariest fucking thing I've ever seen. You're fucked. They're everywhere.
For like the next 2 months, I'd like be scared in the dark, and all I'd be hearing in my head is like, Jeepers.
No, right.
Like every fucking day for like 2 months straight.
Well, I think that movie got me too, because in the very beginning of The Grudge 3 is when the woman's cooking bacon, and she pours the grease on the dude's head and hits on the frying pan, and I was just like, what is happening? This is not okay.
No, I ran out, this is not the one, so I ran out of Insidious. I ran out of Paranormal Activity. Insidious 2 specifically, when the woman comes around the corner and slaps the mom. That's the part I ran out on. But the movie that kept me up, and I believe I saw this in middle school. It might have been middle school, because I remember I threw up after I watched it.
No way.
Haunting in Connecticut.
Yeah.
That shit
Haunting in Connecticut made me throw up after I watched it. I was I slept in my mom's room. I want to say middle school. Slept in her room for, I think, that week. I'm on the floor, bro. I was terrified after seeing Haunting in Connecticut.
I mean,
like, it flipped.
Go ahead, my fault.
It just flipped me the fuck out. I just threw up. I threw up in it.
It's weird how horror movies will do that, though, because, again, The Grudge 3, I can think of this moment where, because at the end of the film, she's put stuff up, like newspaper and shit, but she's wearing a hoodie. And you see the eyes appear in the shadow of the hoodie, like inside, and that's how she gets her. Yeah. I wouldn't put my hood up. For a couple of days, I was just like, nah, I'm good.
See, would you consider, like, it's not even a horror film, but, like, would you consider, like, The Lovely Bones a horror film? Because that movie, I fucking threw up. I was sick after that shit. Like,
I don't know. It's kind of yes, kind of no. I mean,
it's not like a fictional-ass horror, but that's, like, some real-ass horror that, like, had me sick.
No, I mean...
I know my stepmom couldn't watch... She watched The Bone Collector, and it fucked her up for, like, 3 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I know there were
because
some horror
my
films that
stepmom gets
really
freaked
do
out by them real life situation things
No.
where like it can really happen.
Yeah, no,
Dead
like
ends.
the
those are
dude,
the worst.
like someone breaking into your home
Yeah,
or
those are the
whatever
worst.
is way scarier than I am.
That's
a ghost.
You've
why,
never
that's
seen
why
The
that,
Lovely Bones?
I don't think I've seen that.
That's fucking they're going home from wherever, I think school, and they decide to go through a field, and the brother and sister race, and so the brother beats the sister, but the sister ends up getting lured into like this underground basement by this old dude because he seems
I'm gonna have
super
to watch
cool
it.
and
No, I haven't
shit.
seen
But
it.
he
How old is it?
It's dated.
It's dated. It's pretty old. It's
Is it?
super good. It made me fucking sick. You'll
have to watch
you'll
that
enjoy
one.
it for sure.
No, but like you said about real movies, that's why that movie, I forget the name of it, it's where they're at the theme park and the killer with the mask, he's hunting them down. What is that movie called? Damn, what is that movie called? They're at that, whatever that movie called. But that movie right there, it's realistic. Shit like that can happen. You could
Right.
be at a fucking Fright Fest type deal.
Hellfest.
Hellfest.
Hellfest. Bro, Hellfest fucked me. No, it didn't fuck me up where I was like scared like that. But I was like, bro, I'm terrified because this could actually fucking
I
happen.
don't know if I want to go to know.
Like what's crazy to me is the way, and this is the perfect thing about horror, right? It is what scares you, right? I can be sitting next to you in a movie and you're legitimately like, can we turn this off? Like freaking out, and I'm laughing. Like this is so cool because that's the thing I've seen. Even when I was younger, trying to be cool and going on let's watch the craziest. Like I've seen a Serbian film, I've seen Hannibal Holocaust, like the movies they say don't watch, right? I've seen the House That Jack Built. That's a fucked up movie. But I've seen a lot of these, but it's The Grudge 3 that I won't watch again. Where I'm like, no. And it's that's what I love about horror, though. It is purely like subjective to the perspective of your fear.
For real. It really is. But as always, question is for you guys to bring it back home. What are you guys thinking about the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street? Are you in for it? Are you thinking this is going to be a bust? Are you excited for it? Do you think that they can actually get Robert Englund back to portray Freddy Krueger? And if anybody could do it, do you also believe that it is Blumhouse and Jason Blum? So let us know down below in the comments, like, subscribe, and I also want to know, what is your scariest movie? What's the movie that makes you piss your pants, makes you throw up, makes you sleep in your parents' room for weeks at a time? Let us know down below in the comments, like, subscribe, share with your friends, and we will see you guys in the next video.